It's tropical, it's juicy, it's not shy. Today, we're drinking SHOOP. Hi guys, it's Jim here from Dr. Tankenstein with another episode of Beers of the British Isles. On today's episode, we're drinking SHOOP. Now this is a collaboration brew from Salt Brewing Company and Pomona Island Brewing Company. I feel like salt beers always have like strange names that I end up saying like weirdly. But anyway, so SHOOP. It's a 6.4% unashamed New England Pale Ale. I love to see it. I love to see it on the British Isles when a NEIPA can just be a NEIPA. It's not a DDH IPA. It's not an East Coast IPA. It's not a Vermont IPA. It is a NEIPA. So with this, we have not a lot of information, to be honest, other than the fact that it's juicy, it's hazy, it's 6.4%. So we have no IBUs, except the fact that it's low bitterness, the way you would expect. I mean, we don't have any grist other than, you know, it's going to be, like I say, hazy. So probably oats in there, some kind of pale ale malt, maybe even a touch of Marisota, who knows. But they go on about the dry hops. The dry hops in this are Vic Secret, Enigma and Motueka. Now the fact they don't go on about the boil hops, I'm not sure if that means that they just literally didn't add any. Because, you know, some of these NEIPAs, these unashamed NEIPAs, literally don't have a bitter in hop addition. They just had very large amounts of like flavor additions, and then they get the bitterness from that. So I mean, this 6.4%, you know, the IBUs might be sort of 12, who knows. But those hops, like I say, Vic Secret, Motueka, Enigma, they're all Australasian, I guess you would say sort of New World hops. They're all amazing. So what I'm imagining from this is obviously if it's a NEIPA, which I'm sure it is because they said that it was, then it's going to be kind of sweet, very, very juicy, and it's going to be peachy because of the Vic Secret, the Enigma, and I'm hoping that Motueka is just going to add kind of an earthy, floral undertone to that kind of tropical melee that those other hops bring. Looking forward to this one. Salt haven't steered me wrong yet, so let's see what they got. Okay, we're all poured in. Got myself a nice cold glass of SHOOP. Right, first off, let's look at it. So the glass is foaming up, but it does have a real nice hazy yellow color. It's not quite opaque, which you probably can't tell because for some reason it always communicates quite differently. But it's pretty good. It's got like a fluorescence to it in front of the lights here. Real nice looking. The head is really giving it a good go. So I'm gonna go head retention, good. Haze, good. Carbonation looks to be very soft, which again, good. So let's give it a sniff. Oh yeah. So they've used, well, in the aroma, the hops have been used very well. So they really make you look for it. I mean, I'm sure when I drink it, it'll shoot down the back of my nose, but it's kind of like a quiet hop aroma, if that makes sense. It's sort of, you really need to take a good big sniff, and then once you have taken that big sniff, you can look at the whole palate. So like I said, it's quite peachy, stone fruity, kind of a sweet smell to it, to be honest. Yeah, and that there's an ever so slight floral note to it, but I might be wrong on that one there. I think it's largely just the juicy aspect that we're looking at there. So, chin chin. That's good. That is good. It's very full-bodied. So a hallmark of this NEIPA, New England IPA style, is that it's got to be full-bodied, soft mouthfeel, pillowy they say, but I disagree with the use of that adjective. It's quite good. It sits really nicely in your mouth. You know, in a weird way, you could probably kind of just keep this in there for a little while. So it's very low bitterness, very low carbonation, but that's fine. That allows for these 3 mega hops, Motueka, underappreciated in my opinion, but Vic Secret, Enigma and Motueka. That bitterness, that low carbonation really allows those things to shine. It's just really nice. You've got what you've got here is you've got a peachy taste. There's a mango edge to it, and then kind of underlying the whole thing, there's just a real nice sort of resinous feel to it. It's more of a feel than a flavor, but it just ties everything together. The sweetness, the juiciness, it's really quite well done. Okay, so the breweries behind this thing, we got 2 breweries, Salt Beer Factory and Pomona Island Brewing Company. Salt I've covered before a few times. They're just doing the damn thing, you know, over in Titus Salt's old brewing ground, Saltaire in Bradford. You know, they're just really doing the damn thing, really making some just great beers. Our Salt Beer Factory, and now Pomona Island is a strange one. They're based over in Salford, so just over the Pennines from Salt, and it's really hard to find any information about these. I mean, I tried for a little while to get a story, you know, so I could weave it in. I mean, you know the format of the show by now, and I couldn't really. So basically, all I can say about Pomona Island Brewing Company is that based in Salford, I've seen them around for a while on the shelves of the bottle shops, and I guess here they are now in Tesco, and I'm gonna say that's a good thing. I know that Tesco doesn't quite have the respect that like an independent bottle shop would have, but I think that it definitely says something about either their scale or their quality, that, you know, they're able to team up with someone like Salt, who, like I say, are a great brewery, and pull this off. And unlike many collabs, this kind of seems to be half and half. You know, you got the honeycomb Salt artwork, and then at the bottom there, I guess that's Pomona Island's contribution to the artwork, which is great to see. So Pomona Island, based in Salford, like I said, they do have a tap room that you can check out. I think the latest opening of that is 8, unless you're in a private function, but definitely check it out. I first heard about Pomona Island in a crime novel, saying that it was the perfect place to commit a murder. So check those guys out. I'm sure the brewery have nothing to do with that. No, I'm kidding, of course they don't. Check out their tap room. These kind of city tap rooms that Pomona Island seem to be are always really cool and a really, really good showcase of their beers. Okay, let's sum this up then. Let's put SHOOP to bed. So this beer is a NEIPA. It's supposed to be, it's supposed to have a soft mouthfeel, pillowy if you're that guy, low carbonation, low bitterness, high hop flavour. So have they achieved it? It looks great. There's a nice haze to it. It's got a lovely, lovely peachy, mango-y hop flavour. The bitterness is very low, the carbonation is very low, the mouthfeel is very high. Except I don't know what the grist was for this, but the colour's sort of just spot on, and it's nice and sweet, which I think is probably more due to the bitterness than the malt, but that's fine. So I'm gonna rate this beer on a 0 to 10, and as I do so, I'm gonna kind of, go through those things in my head, mouthfeel, carbonation, juiciness, haze, I guess. And as I do so, I have to compare it to all the other NEIPAs that I've had, and I'm gonna give this beer a 6. Which is a good score, I think. 6 out of 10, great. 6, that's a B, I guess, back in my day at school. And I think this, honestly, I don't know how to do this any other way, but this is just my personal preference. This beer has no bitterness at all. So the sweetness is a little bit overpowering. I would like just a little bit more bitterness. I think that if this had a little bit more bitterness, then it would be much, much, much more drinkable, and would be an 8 or a 9. But purely based on that, it's a little bit cloying. It's a little bit. It kind of lingers in your mouth in sort of not necessarily the right way. So I'm gonna give this a 6 out of 10. That doesn't mean that you are though. So definitely head down to Tesco and pick yourself up a SHOOP by Salt Beer Factory in Pomona Island Brewing Company. As you do so, put on, in his case, the Shoop Shoop Song by Cher, which for obvious reasons is the song I'm gonna recommend this episode. Guys, when you get down to Tesco and you taste this beer, you're gonna want more. Head down to your local bottle shop. The amount of NEIPAs that will be on the shelf, it's gonna impress you. So head down there, support your local bottle shop, and in the meantime, cheers.